Because religiously ignorant people cannot attack Islam through knowledge, medical science, cleanliness, or morals, they assault by means of base and cowardly lies and slanders. How could Islam ever be defied through knowledge? Islam is the very essence of knowledge. Many parts of the Quran al-Karim command knowledge and praise men of knowledge. For example, it is purported in the 9th ayat of Surah al-Zumar, "Is it possible that he who knows and he who does not know be the same? He who knows is certainly valuable." Rasulullah's sallallahu alaihi wasallam statements praising and recommending knowledge are so numerous and so famous that even our enemies know about them. For example, in the books Ihya ul-Ulum and Mawdu'at ul-Ulum, the following hadith is written in a section stating the value of knowledge. Acquire knowledge even if it is in China. That is, go and learn knowledge even if it is at the farthest place in the world and in the possession of disbelievers. Do not say, "I don't want it, it's invented by disbelievers." And it's stated in another hadith sharif, "Study and learn knowledge from cradle to grave." That is, an old man of 80, one of whose feet is already in the grave, should study. It is an act of worship for him to learn. And once he stated, "Work for the next world as if you were to die tomorrow, and work for the world as if you were to never die." He stated in the hadith sharif, little worship done with knowledge is better than much worship done without understanding. Once he stated, "The devil is more afraid of a scholar, a savant, than of thousands of ignorant worshippers." A Muslim woman cannot go on supererogatory Hajj without taking her husband's leave. She cannot set out on a journey or pay a visit either. However, she can go out for the purpose of learning without his permission, if he does not teach her or allow her to learn. As it is seen, though it is sinful for her to go on Hajj without permission, which is a great act of worship liked by Allah Ta'ala, it is not sinful to go out to learn without permission. Then how can disbelievers ever attack Islam through knowledge? Will knowledge blame knowledge? Of course not. It will praise it. He who attacks Islam on the knowledge front will suffer a defeat. They cannot attack through science either. Science means to see creatures and events, to observe and understand them, and to experiment and make the like. These three are commanded by the Quran al-Karim. It is fard kifaya to study scientific knowledge, arts, and to try to make the most up-to-date arms of war. Our religion commands us to work more than our enemies do. We quoted one of Rasulullah's very vivid statements commanding us to study science in one of the initial pages of our book. Then, Islam is a dynamic religion commanding us to study science, experiment, and to do positive work. The enemies cannot attack through medical science either. Our Prophet ﷺ praised medical science in various ways. For example, he stated, "Knowledge is of two kinds, physical and religious knowledge." That is, by saying that the most necessary kinds of knowledge are religious knowledge, which will protect the soul, and knowledge of health, which will protect the body, he declared that, first of all, it is necessary to try to keep the soul and the body healthy. This hadith sharif is written in the 381st page of the book Riyad al-Nasihin, which also writes that it has been quoted from the book Zubda tul Akbar. There are also scholars who say that these are the words of Imam Shafi, rahmatullahi alayh. Every word of this great Imam is an explanation of ayat karimas and hadith sharifs. Islam commands us to learn physical knowledge before religious knowledge, for all kinds of virtuous deeds can be done with a healthy body. As is taught in all universities today, medical science is of two sections. The first one is hygiene, that is, the protection of health. The second one is therapeutics, the treatment of diseases. The first one is of primary importance. It is the first task of medical science to protect people against diseases, to safeguard their health. For the most part, a diseased person remains damaged and unhealthy even if he is cured. Islam has guaranteed and ensured hygiene, the first task of medical science. In the second part of Mawahib-i-Laduniyah, it is written through ayat karimas that the Quran al-Karim recommends both sections of medical science. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to correspond with Heraclius, the Greek Byzantine emperor. They used to exchange messages. We can read the words and the letters of both parties in books. The originals of the letters exist in the 238th page of the Turkish translation of Mawahib-i Laduniya. As the names of the ambassadors, together with their biographies and many events, are obvious, who on earth, both learned and considerate, will say that these are lies 1,300 years later? Their hostility towards the religion, their grudge against our Sayyid Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, must have covered their minds and ravaged their discernment to the extent that they cannot see the events, proofs, or documents. So they do not hesitate to openly lie in order to deceive youngsters. Lying and slandering will disgrace, dishonor one in front of everybody. O our Allah, your justice is very correct. Those who attack Islam and thereby attack the comfort and peace of others deserve eternal torment. Once Heraclius sent a few presents. One of these presents was a doctor. The doctor came to Rasulullah and said, "Sir, His Excellency sent me to serve you. I will examine your patients free of charge." Rasulullah accepted him. He ordered the Muslims to give him a home, and it was carried out. Every day they brought him delicious food and drinks. Days, months passed, but no Muslim visited the doctor. Ashamed, the doctor came to Rasulullah and said, "Sir, I came here to serve you. Up to now, no patient has visited me. I've just sat idly, eating and drinking. Let me go back now." Upon his request, Rasulullah smiled and said, "It's up to you. If you would like to stay longer, it is the first duty of a Muslim to serve a guest, to show honor to him. If you would like to go, good luck. Only let it be known that nobody will visit you if you stay here for years, since my ashab, my companions, do not become ill. The Islamic religion has shown the way of how not to become sick. My ashab are extra careful about cleanliness. They do not eat anything before getting hungry, and they leave the meal table before becoming satiated with food. It's seen that a Muslim, that is, he who obeys the commandments of Islam, does not suffer from illness. Those Muslims who suffer from illnesses are those who do not learn and carry out the commandments. Yes, the illness of death will come to everybody. This illness is a blessing upon Muslims. It is the herald of the voyage to the next world. It is an alarm for getting ready, repenting, and saying one's last will. Allah Ta'ala has rendered various diseases the causes of death. Everybody will catch disease when the appointed time of death comes. Couplet. Since there is death in the world, a headache is no more than a pretext. The life of a person who follows the path shown by Islam and who does not commit human faults or spiritual faults does not pass with an illness. But everybody except prophets may follow his nafs and thereby commit sins. Allah Ta'ala awakens sinful Muslims from unawareness by warning them through illness, paucity, and disgrace. Religiously ignorant people cannot attack Islam through cleanliness either. When some youngsters amongst the tabi'in, called the Ashabi Kiram Ridwanullah Ta'ala alayhim ajma'in, Allah Ta'ala loves you, He praises you in the Quran al-Kareem. What is the reason for this love? Tell us, and we will be like you, so that He will love us too. They answered, He loves us because we have been extra careful about being clean. Allah Ta'ala declares at various parts of the Quran al-Kareem, I like cleanly people. A person who has seen the beautiful and luminous face of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is called a sahabi. When there are more than one of them, they are called ashab. Those who did not see the most beautiful but who saw a sahabi are called tabi'in. Muslims do not enter mosques or houses with their shoes on. Therefore, the floors and carpets are clean and dustless. Every Muslim has a bath in his home. His body, his underwears, and his food are always clean. Therefore, they don't have microbes or diseases. There is no bath in the palace of Versailles, which the French boast about to the world. Disbelievers are dirty.